guys, Tat Londono here. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I first want to thank all of you who subscribe for subscribing. Thank you so much. Those of you who haven't subscribed, go ahead, do that now. No time to waste. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button so I could keep producing the best real estate content on YouTube. So first things first, you need to join an agency. You can't practice selling real estate as a real estate agent without joining an agency. So how are you gonna go about choosing an agency? Well, in my opinion, it starts with location. I have owned a real estate agency for over 14 years, and I have seen hundreds, if not thousands of agents come through my doors. And every single time an agent chooses a location that's too far from their home, they eventually leave the agency. Imagine your office is 45 minutes away with traffic. You think psychologically, that's where I want to be. I've seen it on social media. I've heard great things about it. That's where I want to be. But you're stuck in your car 45 minutes at a time. For example, for their training. For example, to pick up your check. For example, just to have coffee with a client. You need to really consider the location of your agency. I know that it really shouldn't matter, but in the end, it really does. So just be careful about the location you're choosing. If you live somewhere really remote and you have no choice, that's another thing. So if you have several locations where you live, start by going to those locations first, and then if they're not for you, you go further and further. But I wouldn't recommend joining a real estate agency that's more than an hour away from your home. It just really becomes inconvenient. Once you've chosen a short list of the top agencies you might consider joining, the next thing is getting that interview. Now, a lot of you think to yourselves, well, how do I pass the interview? Oh my God, what do I say? I'm new at this. I wouldn't even know what to do. Well, I have a secret for you. You have nothing to worry about. And I'll tell you why. Because real estate agencies make money by taking cuts from real estate agents' commissions, okay? So, the more real estate agents, successful real estate agents that join their agency, the better for the real estate broker. So you don't have to worry. They're not going to be interviewing you. You got to turn it around. You need to interview the real estate broker or manager. Sometimes the craziest people become the best real estate agents. So a broker doesn't really know whether or not a new agent is going to be successful or not. So therefore, it's like a fisherman with his net. You just grab and see what happens. Now, obviously, you gotta go into that interview with some self-respect. So although the chances are really high that the real estate broker is gonna say, yes, welcome to our agency, you still have to treat it like a job interview. You have to go in there looking your best, dressed to the nines, make sure you smell good. If you're a lady, make sure your hair's done right. If you're a guy, make sure you showered that day. So let me tell you a story. As you all know, I own a real estate agency. One day, a real estate agent asked for an interview, and I welcomed him through my doors. He came, and from far away, everything seemed great. You know, he was wearing a cute little suit. I welcomed him into my conference room. We sat down. Suddenly, I could smell alcohol everywhere. I don't know if he had a rough night. I don't know if he had substance abuse issues, but that didn't rub me the right way. I kept going through the interview, and I realized he really wasn't focused. He was sweating. He had sleep in his eye the closer I looked at him. And I just thought, is this the kind of person that I want representing my agency? All that to say, guys, just make sure you look professional on the day and act professional, most importantly, on the day of your real estate interview. Okay, guys, let's get into the most important part of this interview. It's all about asking the right questions to make sure you choose the right agency. And for sure, the broker's gonna have a lot of questions to ask you, but you gotta make sure that you ask the right questions of your broker. You gotta turn that around and interview the broker. Because since we already know that the chances are pretty high that the real estate broker is gonna hire you, you gotta make sure that the agency you're at is or isn't the right fit. So you have to make sure you come prepared with a list of very, very important questions to ask your real estate broker. The first question you're gonna ask, does the agency give you continuing education and support? That is the most important part. I think the reason why Londono Realty Group Inc. is still around and one of the top real estate agencies in North America is because we offer continuing support to our real estate agents forever. We hold their hand forever. Some of them are like, let go already, but we still hold their hand. So very important. What do I mean by support? I mean by being there to answer your questions, being there in a time of crisis, being there when there are issues with a transaction, knowing how to handle all sorts of things that come up with a real estate deal, and continuing education. I've said it time and time again. They don't teach you the business of real estate at school. So make sure that you choose a broker, an agency, a brokerage that is gonna give you that continuing support and education. Yes, they might teach you how to fill out contracts at school, but do they teach you how to do your taxes at the end of the year? So these things play a huge part in the life of a real estate agent and contribute to the failure or success, hopefully, of a real estate agent's career. There are many agencies out there that do not train. So, real estate agent, beware. Make sure you ask, do you teach me how to make sales? Do you teach me how to get clients? Ask them, how do I do my taxes at the end of the year? Make sure to ask them whether or not they offer training. There are many real estate agencies out there that don't, believe it or not. And some agencies offer better training than others. So make sure that education or training is a huge part of their business. Next thing you gotta tackle is commission splits. What's a commission split? Well, every agency you join is gonna ask you for a percentage of the money you make. And every agency is different. Some agencies will ask you for up to half of your commission. Others will ask you for just 5%. Some agencies won't ask for a split at all. They'll just ask for a transaction fee. So what suits you better? Just because an agency asks for more doesn't mean they're a better agency. They might tell you they are, but it's not necessarily true. And remember guys, just because an agency asks for a big commission split doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna give you added value for that. I've heard so many crazy nightmare stories about the commissions that agencies charge their agents. And wait, we haven't even tackled fees. That's a completely different subject. So first there's the commission split. Then after that, there are usually fees. The opposite could also be true. An agency might charge you a 50% commission split, but actually teach you how to make money selling real estate and maybe even provide leads. So make sure you ask the right questions when it comes to the money. Let me give you an example of fees. So remember, fees are not the commission split. You've already split your commission, guess what? There's also fees at the end of the month. So fees for anything. Number one, desk fees. Number two, photocopy machine fees. Number three, real estate transaction fees. Number four, franchise fees. There are all sorts of fees. So make sure you ask that question. What are the different fees that I'm gonna have to pay for being part of this agency? Another big question, does this agency provide me with leads or clients even? This is a huge misconception that real estate agents all over the world have. They assume that when they join an agency, they're gonna sit down at a desk and suddenly clients are gonna start calling them and coming through the door. That's not the way it works, guys. So make sure you ask that question. Does the real estate agency provide you with leads, with prospects, with clients even? So another big thing to pay attention to, guys, when interviewing at an agency is office culture. When you're sitting there waiting for them to call you into the conference room, take a look with your eyes and use your ears to listen. What's going on in there? Who is here? Does this look like a place that I could work in? Remember, this is the place you're gonna be working in. Is this a kind of environment and office culture that you see yourself in? Perhaps it's too mom and pop shop, or perhaps it's way too corporate. Is it an open concept space, or are people working within cubicles? These are things that could either make you or break you in your real estate career, so make sure it's a place you feel comfortable in. Now, the final and most important thing when choosing an agency, the contract. Most of the time, the interview is gonna go really, really well, and a broker's gonna push you to sign the contract. Guys, make sure you read your contract. It's happened to me time and time again, agents wanting to join my agency, and they just can't because they cannot get out of their contract. Remember, the contract that the broker is going to make you sign is a legally binding document. It is the law. It is not monkey business. So once you sign, you're in it for the long haul. So be careful. Don't sign right away. Wherever you go and whatever you do, make sure you read the contract before you make that final decision, because that decision is gonna follow you for a long time. Your real estate broker is going to be your business partner, so make sure you choose the right one that's going to give you support, one that's going to help you get trained, one that's going to help you grow your business, guys, most importantly, because you could join a brokerage and make no money, or you could join a real estate agency and start living the life of your dreams. And most importantly, no matter what agency you choose, make sure you feel good with your decision and that you have that chemistry where you're walking in and you're smiling and you're loving that. That's what it has to feel good. Remember, it's not only about what's on paper, it's also about how you feel. So important. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. And remember, if you're enjoying my content, feel free to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and feel free to leave a comment down below. See you next time.
Okay, all right.